Good evening, America. This is Fallout Radio, broadcasting live from somewhere still standing, more or less. Tonight's top story: the Green Hand seizes a bank. Or so they thought. Our story begins at dawn on Tuesday, when Comrade Green, or as his followers now call him, Chairman Green, ordered what he described as a bold financial maneuver. His words were, quote, "We will liberate the people's gold from the vault." His people's map was from 2076. His vault was Vault 108. Vault 108 is not a bank. Vault 108 is a Vault-Tec vault. It never held gold. It held an experiment. A very specific experiment. At 0800 hours, a column of true believers in patched fatigues, carrying shovels, pitchforks, and one very serious clipboard, arrived at a massive, rusted, gear-shaped door in the hillside. The door read, Vault 108. Chairman Green, squinting through binoculars clearly held backwards, declared, "This is it, the National Reserve." His lieutenant whispered, "Sir, it says Vault-Tec." Green replied, "Exactly, Vault-Tec, Vault Technical Bank. Open it." So they did. Inside, there was no gold, no silver, no cash, no vault of the people. There were 43 men, all named Gary. 43 identical men, all in matching Vault 108 jumpsuits, all with the same moustache, all answering to Gary. Gary 1 was making coffee. Gary 17 was arguing with Gary 22 about who left the coffee out. Gary 43 was hiding in a locker because Gary 43 has learned not to get involved. When the Green Hand burst in shouting, "Hands where we can see them! This is a seizure of assets!" 43 heads turned at once and said, identically, "Gary?" Our field correspondent, who was embedded, voluntarily he insists, reports the scene that followed was less a revolution and more a very confused family reunion. Chairman Green, momentarily stunned, tried to proceed with protocol. "We are here to liberate the gold reserves for the people," he announced. Gary 6 stepped forward. Gary 6 appears to be the unofficial spokesman, mostly because Gary 1 was busy with the coffee. Gary 6 said, "We have no gold. We have Gary." Green said, "Where is the manager?" 42 hands went up. Gary 39 also went up, then lowered it, then went up again. "We are all the manager," said Gary 9, "and also all the staff." At this point, the Green Hand's quartermaster, a serious young woman with a clipboard that has seen things, attempted to take inventory. She asked for names for the intake form. The first man said, "Gary." She wrote Gary. The second man said, "Gary." She wrote Gary. The third man said, "Gary." By the seventh Gary, she put her head in her hands and whispered to our correspondent, "We do not have enough lines for this." By the 20th Gary, the form simply read, "Gary, Gary, 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 Gary," and a small drawing of a crying stick figure. Meanwhile, the dog general arrived. For those of you following our series, you will recall the dog general was previously a dog, then a corporal, then a general after eating a very important form. He has since been promoted again. He is now Supreme Allied Commander General Dog. He entered Vault 108, sniffed all 43 Garys, decided they were all the same Gary, barked once with great authority, and promptly fell asleep on the pile of unfiled intake forms. This was interpreted by the Green Hand as a strategic approval. The mannequin was also there. The mannequin, who has attended every meeting so far without ever being invited, was already inside the vault, sitting at a desk, filling out his own form perfectly. Name: Mannequin. Favorite Nuka-Cola flavor: Quantum Blue. Ability to spell revolution: flawless. The quorum took this as a sign of bureaucratic competence and immediately appointed the mannequin as interim Undersecretary for Gary Affairs. The mannequin did not object. Mannequins rarely do. Back at the command post, Chairman Green faced a dilemma. You cannot loot a vault that contains no loot. You cannot seize assets that are all named Gary. He convened an emergency committee. The committee met for 6 hours. The minutes read in full. Item 1. What do we do with Gary? Decision: keep Gary. Item 2. Which Gary? Decision: yes. So, they kept them all. Vault 108 is now officially, according to a hand-painted sign nailed to the gear door with 3 bent nails, the Ministry of Gary Affairs and People's Storage Annex, Branch 108. Its first decree, written in slightly uneven letters, states, all gold will be replaced with Gary. Gary is the new gold standard. 43 Garys stood and applauded, slightly out of sync, like a very polite echo. A word from our sponsor.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by
Super Duper Mart, America's favorite family market, now with 90% fewer families and 100% more desperation. Folks, have you seen our new Vault clearance sale? This week only. Buy 1 can of expired Salisbury steak, get 42 Garys absolutely free. Garys not included. Garys are already everywhere. Please, take a Gary. We have too many Garys. Super Duper Mart, where prices are irradiated, but our enthusiasm is half-life eternal. And if you mention the phrase, Gary sent me, at checkout, our cashier, who is also named Gary, will give you a concerned look and ask if you are Gary. We thank Super Duper Mart for their continued support, and their coupons, which are now valid as currency in Vault 108. And now, the Wasteland Weather Forecast. Tonight over the former Philadelphia corridor, partly cloudy, with a chance of airborne radium. Winds from the northwest at 15 rads per hour. Visibility, moderate, unless you stare directly at the glowing crater, which we advise against. Tomorrow, continued Gary, with scattered Gary, high of 72 and Gary. As always, dear listeners, keep those windows shut. You know, folks often ask us here at Fallout Radio, was this a failure? The Green Hand set out for gold and found 43 men named Gary. No bullion, no banknotes, just a vault full of identical, mildly confused, mustached Garys, who all make the same coffee and argue about the same chores. But perhaps that is the point. Every revolution thinks it is seizing a vault full of gold, and sometimes it opens the door and finds people. Not treasure, people. 43 of them, all named Gary. It is not what they expected, but it is what they got. And now they must learn to govern Gary. This has been Fallout Radio. Good night, and God bless America, we think.